Not live and no longer almost from Beverly Hills, but broadcasting from the friggin' hot-ass Sunset Strip in Hollywood, California. It's the Bob Dean Show. Yay. Exactly. I'd like to welcome everybody. This is episode 46 of the Bob Dean Show. Yay. That's a good yay. I have to, and of course, now we're in our new studio, which is the Ruby Studios on Sunset Strip.
Yay, that's a good yay.
It's a great yay. Yeah. We still have Joe White, our cinematographer, and Samee Junio, my producer and friend. Dennis Olson is out in the green room because there's not enough room in here. Hi, Dennis. Sorry.
Hi, Dennis.
And we want to say hi to to Zach Herndon in Bloomington, who helps get stuff up on my website. And I'm still going to plug the LA School of Comedy Studio, who's been very, very good to me. Sunda Kronquist, the owner. Thank you, Sunda. You're going to have your Tuesday nights free, and I'll talk to you about it. But anyway, the LA School of Comedy at 10835 Santa Monica Boulevard in beautiful Persian Westwood. Yay.
Yay.
Now, tonight I have my friend Ben Rovner.
Hey, guys.
And this is John Hand,
hey.
My new friend. And, of course, everybody knows the voluptuous Sylvia Saige, comedian and adult film star. And there's a big Pornhub thing on the side of the building over there.
Oh, is there?
It's a mural with a rhino. And it says, my horn doesn't get me horny. And then another balloon says, try Pornhub.
Wow.
We're going to get to my guest in just a moment.
Fancy.
I want to thank everybody who came out to the Ha Ha Comedy Club on Lankershim in Toluca Lakes / North Hollywood last night. I think I nailed it.
I'm sure you did.
Well, you know.
I believe you.
I got some laughs.
Sylvia.
And I will be at the Laugh Factory, which is directly up the street on Monday, June 18th, showtime 7 p.m. So y'all start thinking about your reasons now why you can't come.
I'm in New York.
I got a thing.
I'm going to Barcelona.
Thing.
Are you?
I am, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm going to New York. I'm so jealous of you.
Now hold that thought because we're going to get to that because I want to make our Blast from the Past call.
Okay.
I will also be at Flappers in Burbank for the Funny Over 40. I'll be doing a set on Sunday, July 15th.
Wait,
Nice.
you're over 40?
I thought you were 16.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to do our. We haven't done one in a while. We're going to do a Blast from the Past phone call with a real phone, ladies and gentlemen. Who are we going to call today? It's going to be a surprise. Ring.
It must be a European number.
I was going to say they're like in China.
Well, this is our. Here we go, everybody.
Hello.
Now, this is Bob Dean calling from the Bob Dean Show in Hollywood, California. Who am I speaking
what's
to?
up?
Who am I speaking to?
Hey, it's Dane.
Ah, surprise!
No way.
It's
Dane White.
It is not Dane White. You Blast from the Past to me.
See, I only act incredibly stupid. Ladies and gentlemen, watching and listening, Dane White is Ben's college buddy, old friend, and I assume
One of
an
my
old friend
best
of yours
friends in the
too.
world.
I met Dane through Ben. Hi, Dane.
Who's this?
It's John Hand.
Oh, what's up, John?
How are you?
See, and also listening, and you'll see
I'm
this
chilling.
when you watch it. You'll also see that we're here with you. It's me too. Hey, buddy, and nice to talk to you. And then this is Sylvia Saige.
Hello.
She is a comedian
Hi,
and
Sylvia.
adult film actress here in Los Angeles, and she's my co-host from time to time. But anyway, yeah, what a surprise! Huh?
Sounds like
I am. You really tricked me on this one.
Well, I was
Ben's face was perfect.
Dane and I FaceTime, I think, how many times? Like 3-4 times a week?
Have we been what?
Dane FaceTimed me this morning while I was driving to show me his garden.
Oh, my God. Funny.
See what happens when you get married and have kids?
Listen, those are the important things in life. You know?
That's what every friend of mine says as soon as they have a child.
Look at my garden.
I have 5 cats, and I worry about them when they don't come home at night. I don't know how people with kids do it. Tell us about your baby. I follow you vicariously through Facebook. You have a beautiful baby girl.
Oh, thank you. This is probably the going to court row seats of a Knicks game here. What I'm doing right now for a married guy with kids.
Oh.
Well, it's sure getting out for those of you that are watching and listening to the Bob Dean Show. Yeah. Is that I met Ben and Dane at a show that we did at Crown City Theater some years ago.
Quite a
called
number.
A Big Gay North Hollywood Wedding.
Yes.
And I've mentioned it several times. I've had other players from the show on. It's a friggin' awesome.
Who?
If you FaceTime me every now and then, not a whole bunch, but Jody Harrison,
Yeah.
and Paul Storiale,
Yep.
and Karen Praxel.
Awesome.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
And I just want to bring people in little by little because
Yeah.
we have X amount of space in here.
How many years ago did you guys do that?
Oh,
The first run was 6 years ago.
Six, 7, maybe even
Yeah.
7.
Oh, wow.
Maybe 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Nice.
and it was ironic too because the new Haha Club is just across from Little Tony's and the
Yeah.
Crown City Theater is just category.
Yes.
I mean, it's so weird how, like, I live in Santa Monica or I milk it for the address, but so much of my North Hollywood stuff that I do, auditions, shows, and all that, are right at that 5-point intersection. It's
Yeah.
really cool.
Oh my God, that place is like a mecca for the valley.
Yeah, I live right there.
Do you?
Yeah.
I used to
Yeah,
buy
see?
weed. I used to buy weed in the parking lot at Little Tony's.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what a
Nice.
perfect place to buy because they
Yeah,
have
yeah.
killer ass pizza too.
Right.
Well, so you guys FaceTime all the time. Dane played in the weren't getting it's too many, but it's an interactive play.
Yep.
About two young men getting married. Ben, who also wrote, tell us about you wrote and
Yeah, I co-wrote it and helped produce it, all of
Helped
that.
produce.
I was one of the resident producers at Crown City at the time.
yeah, and the show it was absolutely it was one of the first gigs I got in Los Angeles.
Oh, nice.
And I made so many friggin' awesome friends.
Yeah.
And I have never been so proud to be a part of anything because it was an interactive play like Tony and Tina's Wedding.
We also ran it for like 9 months or something.
which
and-
is
Oh, wow.
huge
Yeah.
in LA theater.
Then they
Yeah.
did the divorce.
Well, and then it came back again too as what do you call it? Not a revival, but
yeah, we remounted
Redux.
it.
yeah, but it was a great play, and I got to play the very Republican, very waspy country clubbing father of the not Shiksa. What do you call the dude?
Shiksa. That's
Shiksa.
right. I mean, well, not technically a guy.
Well,
but
yeah, but the blonde hair,
I think
blue
we'll
eyed.
figure that out. Maybe
and
it
then-
is. I don't
and
know.
then you played a fabulous Jew, a liberal Jew, and
Yeah.
and we were, and it was just a great show, and and that's how I made all these new friends.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Nice.
But Dane, the whole point of me going on is that at one point, Dane, for a long run, played my handsome Marine son who was straight, just so y'all know, Bobby.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just a great, great, great show.
And he is handsome, aren't you, Dane?
I am a handsome cat.
Well, now
Yeah.
I'm sad we're not FaceTiming.
That jawline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. You know
He has
what?
an American
Seriously, he's a hell of a great guy, but you are a pretty good looking son of a bitch. And that jawline is
I
something.
appreciate it.
You made a perfect Marine, that's for sure.
I tell you what, I'd like to take a picture right now and show you my socks with flip flops on.
I was wondering where he was going with that. I was like, what are we taking? See, I
Oh,
get
what is
to
Yeah.
Long
that
Island
much
doing to
today.
you?
The friggin' Hollywood glamour is gone. So you're on Long Island now?
Yeah, well, I'm living in Strong Island. I got the Jersey Shore crew roaming around the woods.
That's where I'm
Nice.
from, Dane. The Jersey
Really?
Shore, yeah.
What part?
Oh, you are?
Which
I am.
shore?
Long Beach
I'm-
Island.
Yeah.
I worked at a
Long Beach.
singing
Yeah,
ice
oh,
cream
you're Long
parlor there.
Beach.
A singing ice cream parlor?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Great money.
Great.
bet.
Really?
Yeah, we only had to
Yeah.
work. We had worked from 6 to
Interesting
11.
place.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's what, Dane?
That Long Island is an interesting place. There are characters everywhere you go.
When I hear Long Island, I think mostly of suburbia.
That's what I think too.
Oh,
yeah.
it's super. It's super
Dane,
suburban.
do you want to tell him about what happened at your local grocery store last time I was in Long Island?
Please tell us.
Oh yeah, I pretty much body slammed you and onto the floor.
We were, you
and
didn't
submitted you with my sweet jiu-jitsu
In a
skills
grocery
from-
store?
in a grocery
6
store in
weeks
the
ago.
middle of the produce section. Dane wrestled me to the ground and put me in a submission. And there was this woman with this like
Groceries?
with groceries,
Wait.
trying to get around us. And I was like, Dane, this is very inappropriate. But he wouldn't stop. And it was like a 5-minute wrestling match.
Were you wasted?
No, completely sober.
Were you
What?
rehearsing the revival of Gay Wedding?
Right.
And you didn't get kicked out of the store?
No, it was, I don't know, only on Long Island, I guess.
Wow, that's crazy.
I was-
That woman ran over my foot with her cart.
No, she did not.
She showed you.
That's amazing. That's a Long Island bitch right
Exactly.
there. She's
Get
like,
the
fuck
hell out
you,
of
get
my
out of my
way."
way.
And she purposely ran over my foot.
Well,
Well, you're kind of being a dick. I mean, let's be
I have to
honest.
agree
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
listen, if I had been pushing that cart, I would have slammed right into you two. Like a
aisle
Chinese
were
lady
you
on
in?
the 405. And that also reminds me, I'm going to have to tell the story. I was the number one bagger at Westgate Food Town in Nashville, Tennessee in 1977. And I'll tell it on another episode. But the episode where Tommy Cash, who looked exactly like his brother Johnny, and his lovely wife and the cucumber in the produce section where I caught them. But that's another story.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Wow.
Yeah, give you some real Nashville dirt.
That's impressive, though. I mean, props to anybody who can get away with public sex like that.
Girl, I was a 16-year-old green kid from the suburbs, and I walked out and what he was doing with that cucumber, and you know what I did? I went, it was because I was like, "Good evening, Mr. Cash,"
and
I froze.
And now you love cucumbers.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's
Yeah.
get back.
That's left him. It's
Yeah.
left him.
I love cucumbers. Well, anyway, we just wanted to call and say hi, Dane, and I wanted to surprise these fellas with a call, and it did. I was sitting having coffee in Silver Lake with my partner today, and I was like, ding, dang, dong, that'll be a great surprise.
Yeah,
and I was just really lucky that Bill Riley hooked me up with your number immediately, and you answered, because nobody answers a friggin' phone anymore,
Well,
especially.
he's not doing much
Oh,
else.
well, I saw it was an LA number. I figured Spielberg was calling me back.
Right?
Probably.
You got it. You
Yeah.
From that audition in 2011.
You know what? Funny quick side note before I let you go. The Church of Scientology emailed me today and wanted me to audition for one of their films.
Wow.
Oh, was it Gold Coast or Golden Era Productions?
It was. Apparently my audition from 2008 was so good that keep looking at it.
Wait, you've already auditioned for them once?
Oh, yeah.
and paid
I
them
went in.
$5,000.
They scare the hell out of me.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I figured
what-
they just did all their hiring within.
Are you going to do it?
It's $400 a day.
Are you cool with nudity?
Hell, I would do it. For $400 a day, I do nudity too.
Yeah, why not?
Shock therapy.
Yeah, but you have to you have to give Tom Cruise your soul.
Again?
Yeah, right. We just drove by there just not a few minutes ago, and they have that apartment building on Fountain that's behind,
Right.
the building, and it's just they're like the people that walk back and forth in that crosswalk. They're just kind of frightening.
Have you ever
Yeah.
been in? Have you been inside the Celebrity Center? It's
No.
the creepiest. It's the weirdest thing.
You went in?
Yeah,
Just to
and
hear what they had to say?
You have to go in. I'm not.
Yeah.
I tell everyone you have to do it, and it's very ornate. And
I
there
would
are
get
just people, and
scared.
they're all dressed the same once you start when you reach those levels,
Right.
And it's just like doors, and they're just like going in and out of doors. Yeah,
Well,
Were you
is it
with
like
someone?
a welcome center that you can just go in if you're
yeah. It's called the
curious?
Celebrity Center.
That's what I'm saying. The
Yeah,
Celebrity
it's
Center
the one
is
off of Franklin. Anyone can go in there, and I recommend it just to experience it. But don't talk to them too long, because next thing you know,
You're in a
you'll
room.
be there for 15 years.
Yeah.
And getting emails nonstop.
Yeah.
I'll go if you'll go. And
I would
know
go
Dennis
with
will go.
you.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
We
I
should
won't
go
go
as a group.
alone.
You
Yeah.
should do it. Take notes, and then you can talk
Yeah.
about it on the show.
Yeah.
It'd be
Oh,
worth
that's
it.
a great
Yeah, that is a
idea.
great idea.
I moved. My
I'm
girlfriend
down.
and I
Yeah.
moved here, and her family was all big Scientologists.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
How did you? I feel like how do you even meet then? Because I feel like aren't they
She
kind
was.
of like
She was not. It
shackled
was
away?
her and her
Oh,
uncle.
Okay.
And her uncle was a big acting teacher here, and he was like, I guess, way up in those levels. And,
So did she talk to her parents?
yeah. It was just. They do this thing called, I think it's called the Purif, which sounds very interesting, actually. And also, when we broke up, they called me a lot to like work it through and work it out. Do this Purif, which
And they're
is
like,
where
we
you-
have a great church for you.
Yeah, it was great, and,
man.
I'm
a
getting
free
freaked
outfit.
out. This is
And
like
a free outfit.
This is like telling ghost stories right now.
That's how I feel.
I'm serious.
It's scary.
Oh man, that's going to be great for a show. We'll do it. We'll
I'll
dress
totally
up like,
do it.
You know what? We'll put on conservative clothes and come as husband and wife from like
my
Appleton,
God.
Wisconsin, or
You
something
can
like
You can
that.
just reprise
Done.
your role from Gay Wedding.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
done.
Phil,
Done.
what the hell's up with this?
Can I smoke in here?
Dane, we're going to let you go.
All right, guys.
God bless you, man. It's
Give me
really
a-
good to hear your voice, and
give me
I'm
a good
glad
night.
that you got a happy life going there in Long Island. And hey, guess what you're missing in Los Angeles, though?
Fire.
I was going to say
I
know.
nothing.
No, me. You're missing me.
It's
every day.
exciting. It's exciting. No, yeah, it's all good, buddy. We love you, and thank you for being our call-in guest on the Bob Dean Show. Yeah.
You got it. Have a great show, guys. See you later.
Bye.
All right,
Bye,
now
Dane.
look for us. We'll be you can watch us on YouTube on Friday night, or you can listen to it on your iPhone at the Bob Dean Show. Or on Stitcher.
Yay.
Yay. All right.
You got it, guys.
Bye, buddy. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye, Dane.
That's fun.
Yeah, Dane's a hell of a cool guy, and that was
I
a
was
kick-ass
his.
surprise.
I
huh?
was his best man at his wedding.
I know.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Wasn't that a good surprise?
Yeah.
That was
Good.
amazing. I had zero expectation of that.
Yeah, there
so
you
well
go.
done.
There
You
you
really.
go.
You really pulled the wool over
And when
my
you
eyes
said we're
there.
calling Dane, I was like, I know a guy named Dane.
I had the same. My first thought was like, oh, and then I was like, oh wait, Bob knows Dane. It all happened real fast.
Yeah. What I did was I said, "Who?" And I said, "Is this Dane?" Yeah. Anyway, that was cool. Ow. Yeah. Well, anyway, back to our fun chatter. So. Now, Ben Rovner, we did the show together, blah, blah, blah. You are a very accomplished actor here in town and writer and director and all that good stuff. But you also own Space Station Casting.
I do indeed.
On Cahuenga.
We are on Cahuenga Boulevard.
And I have auditioned there. We were talking about this before we started filming, and I've auditioned there several times for
I've
several
seen you
different
a number
products.
of times, yeah.
And I haven't booked anything. So
let me talk to him. Next time you don't book something, I'll
this
just
is
put him on
going
our
out.
black.
Wholesome strings.
I'll put him on the blacklist,
Give
and
him a
they won't be
discount.
allowed back.
right,
Yeah.
but I love auditioning at your place because as we were talking about, and I'm not kissing your butt. There's first of all there's
Yet.
friggin'
Right.
I was about to say, hold
Yeah.
Wait,
on.
then whose butt are you kissing?
Well, whatever it takes to get the job. I drag my own casting couch. That's why I have that station wagon. But there's always parking, which is a huge issue in auditioning. I'm at the point now where I am not afraid of anything they throw at me or ask me to do. The only thing I ever sit there worrying about is the friggin' parking meter. I'm like, God, come on.
Yeah.
That's the
But
worst.
it's a great spot. The people are friendly when you walk in.
That's the goal.
Seriously, it's honestly, the first couple times, even before I knew that it was you behind the desk in there, I always went in and left with a big smile because it was just a great experience.
That's huge, though.
I'm glad to hear that. I mean, that's really me being from an actor and having an acting background. I realized that so many of these places you walk in and it feels like you're just one of the herd, and it feels completely impersonal and not creative. And we're in a
Right.
creative field, so why are we making it so awful for us?
Right.
And you did a lot of good things when you got in there.
Thank you. Yeah.
did.
I mean, and it's, the goal is to, if the actors are doing a good job, then the casting directors are happy. And if the casting directors are our clients, if they're happy, then everyone's happy.
Right.
And I don't know why we don't just have more fun in this industry, because so often it
Or in
feels-
life.
Or in life. Yes. Thank you.
Thanks.
You?
Yeah, amen. And so that was really kind of what we tried to imbue it with, and I thank you for saying that, because that's the goal, to make it as fun as
Dude,
possible.
seriously, those that know me know I never throw around false flattery.
That changes the experience of everything.
It really does.
Like, I went to a party in the Hollywood Hills about a week ago, and the security checking us in were the nicest people you could have ever. And security is normally like mean,
Yeah,
and
they're
they were
usually-
like,
yeah.
They're like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Right. And the guy checking our names was like, hi, what's your name? Blah, blah, blah. I'm da da da. And we got on the list, and he was the nicest person ever. And as we were walking out, I was talking to them, and I was like, you guys literally changed the experience. Like,
Yeah.
having a welcoming environment. Like, you're right. There's no need. It has to be like,
Well,
make
exactly,
it miserable
because
for you.
block the
You
street.
know?
I don't know
Like-
why people do it.
Right.
Yeah, because going into a party like that and having the guy be a douchebag is
Right.
going to make you, or would make me go in with like an attitude like I am better than other people,
Right.
or feel like that's going to be the mood of the party anyway,
Right.
And going into the
Space
station. Now, didn't Space Station used to be on Fairfax? I mean,
No, we were on
Fountain.
Yeah, we were on Highland and Fountain, 1258,
Were
they
you
actually
involved with it then,
sold.
too?
So it's kind of a long story. My old business partner Dan Velez, who passed away in 2014, he inherited it from this guy named Marcus, who this guy basically had space in that building, 1258, and he had extra space, and he wanted to make his money back on the space he wasn't using, and people were just renting it from him at no cost. And he actually lives in Korea now, and he's a programmer, and he realized he had something here, but he didn't really want to do anything. So my old business partner was like, well, I can kind of take it and start growing it, because he was a casting director. And he started kind of growing it organically, and it was just kind of naturally growing. They left 1258 in 2013, and I'd known Dan for years, and Dan produced something at Crown City for me, and we'd been he had cast me in things. I had hired him as a producer, as a casting director, etc. So we'd been working a lot together, and he finally came up to me, and we created another company called Thespis, which is that online company that we'd started. I don't know if you know about, but it was
I'm
basically
not, computer front. Seriously, but anyway.
basically we sat down and we'd had these monthly meetings about talking about like how we could change the industry, and both of us were very much like, why does this industry take so much advantage of actors, and how can we change it?
Yeah.
So we came up with this idea called Thespis, which is like an online resource for actors, and simultaneously he had the idea of, why don't you come onto Space Station and actually run it as a company, since you have all this experience producing and
How cool.
all this kind of stuff. And I said, yeah, let's do it. And so I jumped on, took partial ownership, really kind of moved the company in a direction of like, let's run this as a company and less as a just thing that we're doing. And we've seen astronomical growth since, and we're actually looking at moving to a bigger location.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Wow,
so-
congratulations.
Yeah,
Thanks.
That's really
Thanks.
awesome,
Yeah,
dude.
we're going to stay in Hollywood, and we're going to keep it as actor friendly as possible. We're actually going to add some more fun actor things like free self taping, which we had for a while. We're going to help realize it a little bit more. And
do
Nice.
you know Kevin West, who used to have the Actors Network?
so I met Kevin, I think, a little while ago, and God, this is I wish I could remember his name. There was another guy he was working with, wasn't he?
I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember his name
Me
either.
neither. Yeah, we talked to him. A couple years ago.
Well, the point being is that he and I actually went to high school together. And
Oh,
He was
awesome.
at the show last night, and we have to do another show with you and him because you guys are so genuinely into the craft, into making the behind the camera experience something that you want to do, you want to learn, and it makes you feel good to do. Yeah, he's a gas. He's a great guy.
Because what's the point otherwise?
Right.
Seriously.
It's consistently blown my mind. Like,
Yeah.
why are we all doing this and making each other miserable?
Right.
Well,
true.
and then what we're going to do, though, is I'm going to switch just off you for just a couple
Please,
of minutes
yeah.
because then we're going to get over to my rent-paying job and talking to John here because we just found out before we started taping that we are in the same rent-paying industry. But I want to talk to my friend Sylvia Saige.
Yes.
What's up, girl?
Oh, same old, same old.
What is going on? You got anything coming up? Comic gigs going on? Or
I'm going to do Sycamore Tavern on Saturday night at 9:30 here on Sunset. And then I'm going to fly to New York Sunday morning and I'm going to do Gay Pride out in New
congrats.
York. Yeah, and I'm going to do Broadway Comedy Club out there. And then when I get back from New York, I'm going to do Vegas with Stoner Rob. We're doing his...
Hell yeah, girl.
Busy.
Yeah.
Laugh on.
Yeah.
Yo. That is
Yes.
so awesome because everybody, those of you that follow the Bob Dean Show,
Yay.
know that Sylvia is not only hilarious, that's how we met at a gig.
Yes.
And where was it that we had that damn gig? I always ask
Ice
this.
House? Ice
No,
House?
I always. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll think of it in a minute. But it
know.
was with. It was the tavern on Fairfax, Molly Malone's.
Molly Malone's.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
love Molly Malone's.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm sad we don't have it anymore.
Is it? Did they close?
They
Oh
well,
no,
they don't have that
Ray doesn't
spot
have. Yeah,
anymore.
but he got.
Ray got engaged today.
today.
Today. Oh my God.
Congratulations, Ray.
Yeah, congratulations.
Classic Ray.
Oh, he's a great guy,
He really is.
and his lovely fiance.
He sent me
is
a video
just,
of it.
She's so cute.
She's adorable.
Did she? He really?
Yeah,
How
so
come I didn't
cute.
get a video?
I don't know. I'll show you.
Okay, later. Well, that's great. Congratulations. I'm having trouble forming words these days. It must be Alzheimer's, first stage Alzheimer's. But anyway, that's a gas. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm going to New York in October for 10 days.
Nice.
Dennis and I are going. A friend of mine, Dr. James Harris, who I do comedy with, he and Suna Kroonquist, who is my comedy mentors from the LA School of Comedy, but he's also
Yeah.
a psychologist, and his lovely fiance. They're getting married on Tuesday at a rooftop wedding.
Ooh.
And I've gotten
Nice.
so many friends, and I haven't been to the city since I was like 13.
Oh, really?
My parents at a show, but I have a ton. When I say honestly, 8 friends from Miami Beach, Nashville,
Yeah.
L.A., who all live in the city, and through the wonder that is Facebook. There's like people, Melissa's coming in from Seattle, and Crispy's coming in from South Beach, and Tamara's coming in from Charleston, and we're just,
That's
the
amazing.
wedding is my main goal, but the thing,
You're going to see everybody.
yeah, and I'm going to speak to Cinda too about maybe just throwing the hat into me, see if I can't get a little time on any stage in New York. And
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm excited about
awesome.
that.
Great.
Well, that's good for you. And of course, we also know that Sylvia has her own page on Pornhub,
That's right.
and I know you guys will be checking it out
Well,
as well.
yeah.
You should.
I was like, remember it.
Now you will, trust me. And because when I first did that,
I'll give you a card.
Oh, perfect.
when I first did the research, I know I tell it over and over again, but it just cracks me up because in this one film that I decided to click on because
Oh, Lord.
But it's the one about
That's the name of the film,
it's-
Yeah, no.
Well, no, she plays the creepy stepmom, and there's this young man who's jerking off on the edge of the bed, and she walks in and she goes, again. She goes, look what you've done done to my decorative towel?
And then, of course, I have to reprimand him.
Yes, somehow.
Of course.
Well, I say that all the time now when I'm walking around work or whatever and I'm frustrated. I'm like, look what you've done to my decorative towel. And everybody's like, what the hell are you talking about?
I'm going to steal that.
Like, if I've got a movie for you.
Well, I'm so excited that you're going to be going getting out of town and doing some gigs outside.
Yeah,
I'm sorry I missed Pornicon?
AdultCon.
AdultCon. How did it go?
It was okay. It was a small venue. So I'm used to doing like the big expos, like Exotica and AVN and stuff like that. And this was a very, very small version of that. But in the interim, I was the highlight of the show. So worked out well for me.
Valedictorian.
Yeah. I think I was by far like the bigger name at the event. So I got like a bunch of sponsorships out of it. So that was kind of cool.
Did you have a lot of guys asking for your autograph and such?
Oh yeah, but that's that's just a part of it.
Part of the game.
Yeah,
I know.
Par for the course.
You know, whether it be through adult entertainment or theater or comedy or whatever, doesn't it feel neat when somebody asks you for your autograph?
No,
or,
I absolutely
or they recognize
love
you.
it.
You know, it doesn't happen to me a lot, but when it
day.
does, I'm just like, wow.
It makes my day, and I even know that when they recognize me, it's certainly not for comedy. It's for the other. But I still love it nonetheless. It makes me really, really happy. So.
The first time it ever happened to me was and that's where we're going to go with John here in a minute, is my rent. Everybody knows I've been a bartender for 36 years. And, but I work at Wolfgang's Steakhouse in Beverly Hills, and this was 4 years ago or whatever when we were doing Gay Wedding. Yeah. And this couple comes in. It's a real busy Friday or Saturday night, and the guy keeps he's going, I know you from somewhere. And I'm like, I don't know. I used to work across the street at La Scala. No, that's not it. And I go, well, I've done a couple of internet commercials. No, that's not it. And because I wasn't even doing stand-up then.
Yeah. And
I'm like, well, I worked in the side. He's like, no. And then he literally stands up and he goes, you're that asshole dad from the play.
Oh, God.
And I was like, yeah. And he goes,
that's amazing.
Yeah. And he goes, you were such a dick. You were great. And I was like, thank you. And I took a big, I was like, thank you.
Yeah. You're the guy that ruined my decorative towel.
Asshole dad.
No, it's nice. It's just nice that anyone recognizes anything that you do.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, seriously, because
There's also a reason we're performers. Because,
for sure. Notice me. Notice me.
Oh, listen, we've talked about this before on the Bob D Show. Yay. About these douchebags like Kardashians and such, that because I've seen it all, folks, working the rent pay job between La Scala and you see it.
I was in an elevator with like 4 of the Kardashians.
Oh my God! Did you
Where?
shoot yourself in the head
In
just
Beverly
listening to
Hills.
them talk?
No, I accidentally blocked them from pictures from a paparazzi. I had no idea.
Oh, and
then we got into an elevator.
I love
literally
the
didn't know who they were.
Kardashians.
Also, this was years ago, and they thanked me in the elevator for blocking them. And I said, "Oh, you're welcome." Like,
Oh,
I
nice.
had no
I
clue who
love
they
the
were.
Kardashians. This is where we
Do you?
disagree. I do. I'm a fan.
Well,
I'm a big fan.
I'm glad.
We all have our things.
Nice.
It's just there's something
I like the housewife. I like the housewives.
That's another thing too. Don't get me started on that. And what changing the whole topic completely? What is this fucking Christy knows best?
Chrisley knows best.
Who the hell is that queen?
no idea.
I
Is that a
watched
guy?
that show as well.
It's a show about this family in the South, and the guy couldn't be a bigger fucking fairy.
He's definitely gay.
What channel is this on?
E. It's on E.
It's on E.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That
Because I
checks
watch
out.
reruns of Law and Order. I love that show. I don't care what
fuck
anybody
yeah, who
says,
doesn't?
and I love it. But it's on
But
the
he
same.
pretends to be straight. is
Yeah,
the thing.
and they're
In real life or on the show?
Is it a
On
thing
the
on the
show.
show, or does no one acknowledge it?
Everyone acknowledges
Okay,
it.
so
but
it's-
they try to brush it, but it's definitely like the son will say things like, like thinking he's gay, but he is like super flamboyant, dresses like head to toe.
And
and
who are
things.
these people?
There's some
Just super
friggin'
rich
Southern
family
rich
and-
family, and
I don't know why they're even.
And he's straight to the next dick?
well, that's, yeah, right.
I mean, they
Listen,
have
I
five-
was like that till I was 28, folks. So what are you gonna do?
They have 5 kids. They've been married for whatever 20 some
Mormon?
years or whatever.
But how do they get into? Who recognized them as entertainment?
I don't know. I don't know
Because
how they got famous.
It's just like Keeping Up with the Kardashians. The only way I ever
Yeah.
knew about the only thing I know about this show is because they promo it all the time when I'm watching Law and Order reruns.
Right.
And the Kardashians was because I used to watch them on Talk Soup.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That was
forgot
it.
about
That's
that.
the
Oh, I
only
didn't
way.
even know that.
I totally
Oh
forgot
my
about
gosh.
that. Yeah.
Who was on
yeah.
Talk Soup?
Joel McHale.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
great.
That was way before.
yeah.
But many an afternoon at La Scala, they would be so frustrated because the paparazzi wasn't there.
Oh,
And who's the tall one that's
yeah.
married?
Poor
Chloe.
Chloe, yeah.
Yeah, the one that I read on the front of the Inquirer some years ago that they suspect isn't really a Kardashian.
Oh,
was
she doesn't
some-
look like the
ruh-roh.
rest of
Yeah,
them.
because she's like 9 feet tall.
Right.
But she was pacing. And
OJ.
what's the name? Who was her husband? Lamar.
Lamar Odom.
Lamar
Oh,
Odom.
right.
Okay, when they first got together, she was, and it was one of the twins. I don't know why these people. I don't even know why I'm talking about them.
You're doing, I mean, a
I'm
pretty good
wasting
job. though.
really good time.
Yeah.
But they were like waiting. They're like pacing up and down, talking on their phones. Like, are they coming? Are they coming? And all of a sudden, like an hour into it,
Oh, wow.
all this paparazzi runs up, and then they walk out going, "Leave us alone! Leave us alone!"
Oh,
and of course,
wow.
I was behind them, jumping up and down, like enraged waiter yells
Right?
something. Yeah. Anyway, enough about those people. I want to talk to my
man.
new friend John
Yes.
here,
Hey.
John Han. Hey, buddy,
It's great to meet you.
give John a hand.
Yay! He's never
That
heard
joke
that.
never gets old.
Well,
does
I
it?
have a twin brother too, and they used to call us left and right.
Oh, nice. Which one were you?
I was right
You have a
because I was
twin?
always right.
Nice.
You have a twin?
I do,
They-
yeah.
Left and right? That's
exactly
hilarious.
He
Really,
is
it's
very,
amazing.
very different than John. He's a rocket scientist.
Are you identical?
No.
You
Okay.
look similar though, but they're not identical.
Right.
And he's an actual rocket scientist? Did
Yeah.
you live in Huntsville?
Wow.
No, he lives in Denver.
In Denver?
Yeah, and we're just very different.
That's
and
crazy.
He recently has come into his own and moved to Denver and living this
Well, that's pretty
crazy
cool.
lifestyle.
What do you mean by crazy lifestyle? What does that mean?
You.
Oh
it's your
man,
thing to
he's
tell.
just he.
If we can't talk about him, it's okay. I just don't.
He just says he was always very introverted.
Okay.
And I was always more extroverted.
And now
then now that he's like finally happy, I think. Like, I
Yeah.
think he loves Denver. He'd never been there. He moved there.
Is he smoking weed? No.
No, because of
Oh.
like security clearances and things like that.
Well, you don't want a guy that's designing
A rocket
rockets,
scientist. I
smoking
get
the
that.
blonde
I
dude.
get that.
Now, what's his first
That
name?
makes sense.
Tom.
Tom.
Hi, Tom.
Yeah.
Hey Tom.
Hey, we're
Hi,
sending you a
Tom.
big old hello from Hollywood,
Yeah.
from the Bob Dean Show.
He just loves Denver. It's the happiest I've known him to
That's
be. So
amazing.
Yeah,
it's
from what
thrilling.
I hear, it's a really cool town.
Yeah.
It is. It's really clean and it's
It
amazing.
is.
Yeah.
it's
And everybody's moving there because they can buy property for less.
Yeah, it's like one of
Oh,
the
is that
fastest
what
growing
it is?
cities in the country right
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like
Nashville is too,
Ugh,
right?
Please, that's
Yeah.
my hometown.
I
Don't even
know.
get me started on that. Mentioned it before. A lot of the local friends, sarcastically, they're starting a campaign called "Don't Be Nice, Stop Moving Here." But anyway, John. So I
Okay.
found out right before we started that you are also. We are. I use my opening line in the my act now. Is I'm like, when you go into a party and the first thing somebody says to you is, "What do you do?" That means they're a fucking douchebag.
Yeah.
Like my party,
Amen.
seriously, because I've talked about my Christmas tree party over and over and over. It's a great kick-ass party. It's a benefit. But I've had people do that. I've heard them go that I don't know. They're like, they'll say to somebody, "What do you do?" And I'm like, "You need to go." And
Yeah.
I'm very kind. I'm like, I'm going to ask you to leave my home,
Well-
my
This party's not
one-bedroom
for you.
dingy bachelor.
Happy New Year.
Exactly. They're like, "Are you kidding me? Are you serious?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm smoking inside too.
Uh-oh.
But they're like, my line is like, people say, "Bob, what do you do?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm a comedian and an actor." And then they're like, "Oh, you're a bartender." Which
Just
is
say, "Oh, I don't."
But we work together at different places, but in Beverly Hills, which I just found out. So
Where
you're-
is Wolfgang?
Wolfgang
Exactly.
Steakhouse by Wolfgang's Wiener?
It's
on
right
there.
on the corner, right?
It's
Is it?
it's right next door to Wally's.
Yes,
and right
yes.
across the street from
On
La Scala.
Cannon?
And on Cannon.
Right.
And now the hot new place is Avra.
Oh, I haven't heard of this.
Oh, it's on. It's
Your
just north of
competition, you
Wilshire
should know.
on Beverly, and it's some Greek restaurant from New York, but it's where all the C and B scene.
Oh.
we should go
The
sometime
pop
after work.
Well, exactly.
let's
Yeah.
go be seen.
Exactly.
What are we
Uniforms
doing?
with the
And if we
shirt
can't
tails
find the
hanging out.
paparazzi, we'll call
No,
them.
they'll
away.
be like-
They still hang out in front of Craig's, where my friend Cindy Bell works.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
Cindy. But Avra's a place to be.
Okay.
But we're Nick's. Do you
Yeah.
remember Nick's?
Yes, I loved that place.
Oh my God.
Martini bar, right?
Yeah, it was great.
Great
And
martini
between
bar.
Nice.
Wolfgang's, our place is like the Cheers, where I work. Honestly, it's like the Cheers of Beverly Hills.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like 70% regulars. Most people are over 40. And everybody's cool. It's not where people walk in there and go, "Can I have a cocktail with fresh ginger and mint and cucumber?" I'm like,
They don't do that when Bob's working because they did once and he ripped him a new ass.
And,
Yeah.
he
He's
smoked
like,
a
"Here's a-"
cigarette, and he said, "You have to leave."
exactly.
Here's a Bud Light.
Trust me. But where Nick's used to be, and now it's some tennis player and some basketball player and some famous other guy who are like famous, and I don't know who the hell any of them are, but they're really, really, really famous, and somebody else. But they're going to open it up, and that's going to turn that corner upside down again.
Next time I walk to that gas station to buy overpriced cigarettes,
$8.50 a pack.
Oh my God, $8.50.
No, excuse me, they're $10. $12.50. I'm sorry, $12.50. The last time I bought them, but Hugo, the mechanic there, is the best in town.
Is he?
Yeah. I'll tell you about it.
Hugo, we need to talk.
Hugo, it's good. The most expensive gasoline in the entire country is at Jack Coker's the 76 station on the corner of Crescent and Little Santa Monica. It's the most expensive gasoline in all of the United States.
So never stop there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your car flies after you.
But it's a beautiful deco building. But Hugo, the mechanic there, he is the greatest, and I'll tell you all about him later.
Oh, that's great.
And you're at Farm, which is
I'm at the Farm of Beverly Hills. Yes,
and that is on.
It's on Beverly Drive.
Drive,
right between Little Santa Monica and Brayton Way.
It sounds healthy.
We're
right.
You're right.
I'm literally where you are, just on the next street.
Oh, seriously? By Nate and Al's and the Beverly Hills Cheese Shop
and
do you ever go in the
Toy
cheese
Store?
Shop? Yeah. But you know what you got to do is you got to go over that damn sky bridge. You got to walk up the stairs and then down through Crate and Barrel. Ugh.
And you can stop. They have like lounge chairs. You could sit and stop if you. Get
I know. The Crate and Barrel just like you have to walk up the stairs. People do it all the time.
I know.
They're like, oi.
Is that where you smoke your 1250 cigarettes?
Well, I do. I was going to say, I walk by smoking, and they're looking at me like, "How gauche." And I'm like, "You're sitting outside on Crate and Barrel furniture."
Right.
Seriously. I've had people
that you're not going to buy.
They're like, I saw this one old lady. This guy was smoking across the street at La Scala, and this woman literally, it was like the remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers with Elliot Gould, where the pods would go, and their voice would, they go, whatever it was. This old lady, this guy is like, he's 10 feet away from the patio, smoking, and the woman stands up and she goes, "Smoker!"
Oh my!
Like that, really loud.
Wow,
it's a great place, Beverly Hills.
Yeah, I don't spend a lot of time there for
a Persian in a Range Rover.
Right. I can't believe that you smoke. It's so bad for you.
Yeah.
But seriously, this is my act too, and it's true. I keep auditioning for the part of the guy that's on the patio, and he blows the smoke upstairs into the baby's room. Like, pick me.
You know what's fun to do in Beverly Hills at these restaurants is figure out the nannies that come in with their families, like what is the down and dirty with some of these families.
Really?
Yeah, it's fun.
So there's good people watching there.
You're my new friend, seriously, because we can. There's so many notes we can compare on that. We obviously look at it the same way.
Totally.
When you'll see some, these people, and it's just like on TV or whatever. These people, they'll just sit there and their kids are like, "Wah!" And they don't even look at them.
Oh, they don't even. They forgot they were there.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I got to tell you before I forget, and this is the gospel. It was not last Sunday, but the Sunday before. I'm working, and it was Sunday is a slow day in Beverly Hills. There was an Asian family sitting at table 6, which is right by the bar, and I thought they were fake baby hands. I'm not joking. There was a child in a
like Gilly,
a high chair, and she couldn't have been a year old. I mean, she couldn't even barely walk. And I glance over the table, and I swear on my mother's grave, her little thumbs are going tick on an iPhone.
Oh wow!
And I took off my glasses, and I was like, I put them back on, and I'm looking again, and I said to the waiter, I go, "Am I seeing it?" He's like, "Yeah, look at her little fingers going."
She's like, "I'm just doing research for my next tattoo."
But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's a whole other thing, flash buying the whole whatever. But yeah, it's a kooky ass place.
You know what I find about Beverly Hills, especially on the weekends? Like during the week, I love it. Like our guests are wonderful people.
Oh yeah, seriously, 90% of our regulars are friggin' awesome. But the other 10% are the ones that you just want to put bamboo shoots under your finger.
But you know what it is? We're a big brunch spot. We have great brunch, and I think it's this weird attitude where people have this already preconceived notion
that
about what they think or what they think Beverly Hills is, and they're like, "Oh, well, it's that." Well, and they poo-poo it, they put it down, but then they come in and they act like way worse than that, like almost like they're allowed to, like it's a ride at Universal.
And that is honestly something I got, and I'm plugging the restaurant where I work, but I swear, because I've been doing this for a very long time, and one thing I can spot is an asshole
Yeah.
coming through the
Oh,
door.
God.
And they're few and far between, but when they do, they're the ones that they walk through the door and they're like, it's hot in here, it's cold in here. Blah blah.
I'm constantly changing
They
the
want to
thermostat.
pick at something. They wanna
God.
pick. It's like picking at a scab because they're going to end up wanting you to buy them a drink or paying for
I'll be like, oh yes, menopause is tough, as I pretend to change.
But
the
as I
thermostat.
said, the majority, the majority of the people in our dining room have you ever seen? It's so huge. It's huge.
Oh, yeah.
And if one elderly person in the back is like, it's cold, they're just like,
You should have blankets for them.
Well,
Just
I had
Like
I had a
every
waitress
back,
that did
yeah.
that whenever anyone asked,
Yeah.
she had a blanket
Here
ready,
you
and
are.
they didn't want it. They were like, actually, no, I'm feeling better.
You could get one of those aluminum
hilarious.
space
Yeah.
blankets.
I'm amazingly not cold.
Oh, you know what?
anymore.
Actually,
It's great.
I don't know what you must have opened the. I feel much better.
That's friggin' hilarious. You know what? This is. I was talking to a waiter buddy of mine Sunday. We were setting up and speaking of smoking, not the cold. But I had this fantasy, and I know one of these days I'm going to do it, and being like El Kabong, remember? With the horse
what
with the
you're
mask, and he
talking
would. I want to run into restaurants on Saturday nights, run right to the middle of the dining room, take out my Zippo, fire up a cigarette, and go. And then
Power
like with a and then just
Yeah.
run out just to see everybody go, what the fuck was
You
that?
should do that in the new Greek restaurant.
Get as many friends
We're
as
just
you
here to
can.
be seen.
That's
It's all open
hilarious.
air.
Oh.
Well, you know what? For those of you that are so anti-smoking, which is fine, everybody knows it's a nasty habit and it's bad for you and blah blah blah. But I wouldn't smoke if it didn't make me look so cool.
Well,
know.
you want to be cool, don't you?
But everything stinks like pot in LA now anyway.
Yeah.
Everywhere you
I'm
go.
sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
That's me.
Well, no, I mean,
You smell great.
Right? Thank you.
You smell like a great strand of pot.
Oh my
Right,
God.
thank you.
You're a hybrid, aren't you?
Yeah, right.
Listen, I have a very close friend who the last time I smoked pot was like 4 years ago. I used to smoke a lot of pot before you guys were born, and I mean I was a king of the shotgun. Which you got? Does anybody
yeah,
know? I could put a roach in my
absolutely.
teeth and make you so. But that was a long time ago and land far, far away. But anyway, the last time I smoked was like 4 years ago, and it was this incredibly harsh medical stuff that
Yeah.
I laughed for 1 minute and I laid on my sofa for 4 hours. It was as bad as a bad acid trip I had in
And woke up at
1984.
Christmas.
But I have a friend now that has turned me on. I will share occasionally with him.
Yeah.
This great strain, and it's just like it's 1983 again. And I'm like,
Giggly.
Or
I was
lamb's
watching
breath.
Frasier the other night, and it's an episode where
Green
the people
goblins.
had the big noses, But I mean, I'll laugh my ass off. But the
Yeah.
only thing that sucks is that it's like, what's in the refrigerator?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
100%.
Cold pasta. That's not,
Uber Eats,
not
McDonald's.
uncooked pasta that's like hard. Oh, this is the best thing I've ever eaten.
Weed is the reason that I have the healthiest kitchen in the world because I only allow myself healthy snacks in the house.
Yes.
Now,
Right.
I tell myself if I'm out, I can eat whatever, but in my own home, I only eat.
I finally had to
Ridiculously
not
healthy.
no bread in the house because
Yeah.
for some reason when I'm high, the only thing I want to eat is bread. As much possible bread as I can put in my mouth. It's like I have one of my buddies used to always be like, "Well, Rovner's clearly high. He's eating bread," and I'm just like a loaf of Wonder Bread, and I'm just like,
I make mustard sandwiches.
Oh my God!
They are amazing.
Just
"That's
mustard?
disgusting."
And if I'm feeling real fancy, I'll do yellow mustard with Dijon mustard.
That is repulsive.
Oh, so gross.
Well,
so
Dennis and I
good.
have just discovered the wonders of rye bread. I've always loved rye
Rye
bread,
bread
but it's
is-
always
rye
been
bread
wheat.
is
I always
good.
buy wheat bread.
Yeah.
But now I can't. There's always rye bread and tortillas, and tortillas are
yeah.
so friggin' high in fat and all that shit. But they're so good.
Put some mustard on those.
Oh my God!
All right.
Mustard.
Good.
Oh,
Are you pregnant? Like this is the
I hope
weirdest
not.
thing ever. It seems like such a
It
weird
sounds like
craving.
I know it's weird.
Well, you're gonna have to stop by on
Oh, yeah.
on a Sunday.
Yeah, I'd love
what time
to.
do you get off?
I get like 2:00.
Sweet,
Oh,
I'll
please.
burn
Well, no,
over.
I don't come to work till we open at 5 on Sunday. But
Okay.
you need to swing by sometime because I'm in there like it's either busy as shit or I'm
dead.
like this.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, Beverly Hills is such a crapshoot.
It is.
And Sunday can be a great, fun day, and I can really have a great day.
Yeah.
Or I could be, and then it never fails because we close at 10:30, and it's just like in the movie Waiting. Remember that one,
yeah.
where the whole staff and the hostess,
Yeah.
they're all like,
Yeah.
Just
that's exact,
TikTok.
folks. That movie Waiting. It wasn't all that
And
great.
then one person walks in at 10:29.
That's
Yeah.
exactly, ladies and gentlemen, how it happens. And when you walk into a restaurant of any caliber,
Yeah.
10 minutes before they're going to close, and you think they're happy
Yeah,
to see you,
no.
you're wrong.
You might as well ask what I do.
Yeah, exactly, because you are
You're outta
wrong. And
here.
that's what happens
Yeah.
is I'll see these people that, and there's, I know they're coming from down the street, the Palm or whatever.
Australia?
And well, they're nice. They're nice people, but they're already like 4 sheets to the wind, and they
Yeah.
just want to come up to say hi to me. Hey, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and I see them walking up the sidewalk, and I'm like, please keep going
Get the
next door to
fuck out.
Wally's.
Yeah.
Please keep going next door
Yeah.
to Wally's. And then they come in, and I'm like, well, hey. And they're like, well, the kitchen's still open.
Oh
I'm like,
no! See, I'm lucky with that. We don't have we have a bar in there, and it's a great bar. But we are like a daytime lunch brunch
Yeah.
place. So I don't. We close at 8.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
brilliant.
Yeah, because Beverly
Damn.
Drive goes to bed at 5:30.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's the busiest street in Beverly Hills at rush hour to try
Yeah.
and maneuver
It
around.
is.
But
Yeah.
because like I said, the gig that I have, it really is a great gig, and I'm very lucky, especially being an old bartender, and it's the longest bartending gig I've ever had without getting fired for my attitude. So I bite my tongue. All right, now I'm going to switch back over to Mr. Rovner for a minute, special guest. Now, I was looking at some of your films.
Good.
What is it? Beach Bar, the movie?
Wait, my adult films?
Were you an adult?
Because
No.
those are only on my computer, Bob.
I was going to say, I'll find a way
always.
to
Those are
hack
my
it.
personal collection.
I don't know how you got those, but
I don't know how you got such great lighting.
I just went to IMDb and they just popped right up.
damn it.
But no, seriously, the Area 51. I want to. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to blow it for anybody, but the scene that's on the clip, the reel.
When I get sucked out of the car?
Well, you could. That's what happened. You did. You got sucked out of the car.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like,
That doesn't
damn.
mean I die. Maybe I come back.
No,
as an
I
alien.
didn't figure you would die.
Yeah.
You're Ben Rovner. Ben Rovner don't die.
I don't die.
But it was a neat concept. It looks like it's going to be.
So, when's it out?
Where can your fans find this movie?
You can find Area 51. I believe now it's on Netflix and Amazon.
Oh, amazing.
It goes back and forth. So we filmed it years ago, and it was, so Paranormal Activity when it first came out. This is I won't get too crazy with the story.
No,
but
wait. It wasn't because I wrote it down. It was the director.
It was the creator.
The director of Paranormal Activity and the producer of The Purge.
Yeah,
Is that what's
Jason Blum.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
So basically, this was so many years ago, and we were auditioning for this movie, and it was a found footage movie, and myself and the 3 other leads of the film got cast, and everyone was like, "You guys are going to be famous because this guy." Oren Peli, and this is before Paranormal even came out.
Yeah.
His movie's going to blow up. Steven Spielberg loves it, da-da-da-da-da. While we're filming Area 51 for initial photography, Area 51 becomes the highest grossing small budget film of all time.
Wow.
We proceed to finish it. We go to this wrap party at Jason Blum's house, which is this gorgeous house in the Hollywood Hills. We meet the president of Paramount, who Paramount had bought it, and he tells us we're going to be famous. And we were all like, "This is amazing!
Right.
We did it!
Wow, I can't imagine what
we
the
did
adrenaline.
it! Yeah!"
You
And then
immediately started deleting people out of your phone.
don't need you, don't need you. I'll hold on to you.
He's not kidding, ladies and gentlemen. Because I would do the same. But anyway, so
And then proceed 3 years in the making, just 3 years of reshoots. Because the movie just never, without getting into detail, just never was fully realized to the potential. And I had very long hair at the time.
yeah.
if you remember.
And one of those cool skull caps.
All the time. Yeah, wearing the whole movie.
We were wearing cowboy boots too.
Yeah, I was wearing cowboy boots too.
Oh my God, great.
It was a different me back then. But
God.
my agent was like, "You have to shave. You have to cut your hair." And I was like, "I can't." And they weren't paying me to keep my hair. And finally, I was like, "This is the last round of reshoots," and then I'm shaving my head. And we did one more. We did it was 3 years later, and I shaved my head. So we started filming it when I was 23 or 24.
Oh, wow.
And you can watch the movie, and different parts of the movie, I'm either 23 or 28.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
That's so crazy.
And the long hair moved to his
I'm
back.
gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home tonight and smoke some pot and watch it.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the only way to watch
That
it.
is
you know?
the way,
yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a few hours in between this show and where I have to be later. I'm
There
like,
you
I
go.
might go
It's
home
fun.
and Netflix this too.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Aren't you
Amazing.
close with your mom? You're real close with
I
your
am
mom,
very
aren't
close
you?
to my
Because
mom,
I
yeah.
remember I hope you don't mind me bringing. What's your mom's name? Nancy?
Sheila.
Sheila.
Yes.
Hey, Sheila.
Hey, Sheila.
Tell all your friends to subscribe to the Bob Dean Show. Yeah.
He did not know me before today, Sheila.
But it was because it was you and Ben
person.
and some of the other guys that were in the cast that know your mom, and they would always be so excited. We'd be talking about her, when we'd be in the dressing room or, rehearsing or whatever.
Yeah, she, I grew up in the Midwest, and she is like...
Me
Where
too.
you from?
I'm right outside Chicago.
Okay.
Where are you from?
Outside of Kansas City.
Okay. Where outside of Kansas City?
Like Lee Summit.
So Dane, who we just talked to, is
Yeah.
from Raymore.
Oh my God, I'm very familiar. Yeah.
That's so funny.
It's a small
Yeah,
world.
it's small
Who would have
world.
known? But yeah, she is the epitome of a Midwestern mom. She's like when we grew up, she would go to the basement with bagel bites.
Oh, yeah.
Aw.
She
There
would
you
go, I hope no one's necking down here.
Thought you might be thirsty from all that Zima you've been drinking.
With Jolly Ranchers. Jolly
right?
Ranchers.
Yeah. So my mom is like the epitome of love, like to a fault, where at times you're like, Mom, you don't need to love everyone this much.
That was my mom was
yeah.
kind of like the neighbor, everybody loves Stella too.
Yeah.
I
totally
feel
know
like that's what my
exactly
mom
you're
says
talking
to
about.
me. That's what my mom
Yeah.
says to me. Kristen, you don't need to love everyone that much.
But that last film was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But
That's my boy. He's 23 and 28. Well, hey, Sheila.
Hey, Mom.
hi, Sheila.
Hi, Sheila.
All right, that's enough. I can't wait to meet her.
Yeah.
Did you ever come out to LA to visit you?
Well, I'm getting married next summer.
Are you?
Yay.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So she will probably come out then.
I hope so.
She actually simultaneously, we've been getting in arguments because she wants to throw another party in Chicago.
Oh, like a
for the
wedding
people.
party.
Yeah, we are going to have the ceremony, and then she wants us to instantly fly to Chicago to have a second party.
I mean,
It's called a honeymoon.
It's a honeymoon in Chicago with my so
At your
also
mom's
from,
house.
Yeah.
I'm from a gigantic Irish Catholic family as well.
Yeah.
And she's like, you have to invite all 700 of
Yeah.
us. And I was like, I'm not doing that because that's too many
Aw.
people. And she's like, well, then we're going to have another party for them.
You
Yeah.
are going to get so many decorative towels
yeah,
for this wedding. You are.
you are.
What is
You
your
are.
lovely fiance's name? I don't think I've had the pleasure.
Her name is Melissa Peter. She is an architect.
Hi, Melissa.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi, honey. And we've been together for 3 years. We got engaged last November.
Oh, nice.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And we're getting married next summer.
Does
That's
she do residential architecture, business, everything?
So she is currently with Eric Owen Moss. No, she was with Eric Owen Moss. Whoops, screwed that one up. Now she's with Rios Clemente Hale, and they mainly do big, commercial, creative commercial spaces. They do studio lots, they do stuff like that.
Nice.
But she also does her own. She works on residential stuff on her own. She designed a salon on Melrose.
Oh, nice.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, in
Very
this
talented.
town, especially where everything's being torn down,
yeah.
and I'm passing a note to Sylvia.
So funny.
Torn
Oh, I'm
down
so
and
excited.
what do you call it? Not regentrified, but they build
Yeah.
up.
Torn down and then made into a 10-foot or 10-story skyrise, like
Yeah.
all over.
My
where John
neighborhood
lives.
is
It's
completely
insane.
turning into
Oh,
that.
please. Where are you?
I live on Melrose. Not Melrose. I live on Sycamore off of Melrose.
Yeah.
And it's like a nice residential area. And it's like cute house, unique house, cottage, disgusting, like
Yeah.
tall, like glass.
I'm by Stoner Park.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's the same friggin' thing
it's
over there.
oh no.
Is Stoner Park really the name of it?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I live on Stoner Avenue,
Oh,
baby.
I don't even know
They
where that
welcomed
is.
him with
Yeah,
open
I don't know where
arms.
that is either. Where is that?
Do you?
It's between Barrington and Bundy and Olympic, and
Oh.
you can walk to where OJ killed Nicole. That's my.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez.
let's all go.
Oh.
Yeah, you can take a nice walk right down to Bundy.
You should make
and up the
money
street.
doing tours when you're not.
Yeah,
at
right? That's a
Wolfgang.
really good idea.
Well,
Are you finding all these ugly green? They're using this ugly green color in a lot of these new.
Oh yeah, it's either either
neon.
the chrome in the wood or the ugly like
Green or red
like
or-
a diarrhea-esque
Yeah.
Yes.
green.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
It's the
bad.
latest thing.
It's real bad.
Yes, like my 4-month-old just shat and did whatever, and
You
now
can
I'm
say
going to
it,
put it
sorry.
on this building.
Sort of like the color of my shirt.
There's
Yeah.
a building like that in Vegas, too. It's the color of shat.
Oh,
Yeah,
cute.
it's my
You know,
least favorite.
that's interesting. I want to segue into this real quick because
Chat?
if those of you that follow, yeah, sorry, that was
Don't give away. Don't give away.
No. This is because we've been talking about neighborhoods and all that, and for our because we are all artists, and I never met this guy. But I put it on my Facebook page today, and then I put some pictures up. At the end of my block, there's a house that is so incredibly intriguing. It's all covered with sycamore and bamboo.
Oh, nice.
And it's got and it looks like the garage door that you can see looks just like any other garage door, but there's like this wrought iron gate. It looks like a brownstone. It's the front door is right on the sidewalk. Then there's this big brick wall, all this bamboo and sycamore, and you can look over into this iron gate, and it's like the Garden of Eden. And it turns out that there was this artist named Hal Cunningham. And if you guys are into art at all, or even if you're not, Google him. He passed away. He was 106 years old when he passed away last year. But I've always been so intrigued by this house. And when the estate sale came along, and the reason why I'm going on about this is A, because it's interesting, but B, I'm just praying that the developer doesn't come, because they will. But it's like this incredible house, and his artwork is so incredible. And what was so neat about it is that I talked to his son, who was like 75.
Jesus.
And this house is so, and it was really neat because it was all these different rooms, and out in this Garden of Eden there were these different little open air sheds with different, like one was paints and one was beads, and you could just tell that. And he had just and the upstairs and everything in the house was so cool.
Did he live in the house till he was?
He lived in the house.
Died?
This is the neat part about it, and you can look at the pictures on my Facebook page. There's a little brown bungalow. The neighborhood that I had is such a mix of a collection, and there was a lot of Japanese farmland. And when they were put in internment camps, and they stole their land, it's wow. But anyway, there's a little brown house on the corner of Stoner and Iowa, where this guy lived in 1903. When he moved to Los Angeles, and then so he built his home behind. And the neatest part about it is in the upstairs there's a ballroom with a fireplace that's as big as this wall, and it's a huge vaulted ceiling with these giant oak beams in it. And his son was telling me that this is where the Hollywood elite would come to parties in the 30s and 40s.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
And, it's just a little
And that's
segue
where O.J. killed Nicole?
No, that's up on Bundy. That's a condo right where the curve is between Ralph's
Can they not get it to be a historical building?
That's what I don't know what's going on with it's how it's working. But
are they selling it, or did someone already buy it?
There's somebody that as according to the gentleman, his son, I'm not going to mention his name, but because I'm hoping to get him on the show. Okay. He's kind of a shy guy, but he was a Vegas dancer. Oh my God.
Nice.
I know he was a Vegas dancer in the 50s.
And he's shy? Right. That was my thought.
Seriously.
Right.
But we started going on, and I asked him to come on the show, and I think he said no, because he was back there when it was a huge, like, it was little Vegas, but it was all
Gotcha.
No more. It's just fascinating LA stuff.
Yeah.
And every neighborhood that we live in, where are you?
I'm in Culver City.
Culver City?
Yeah, I love it.
Well, Culver City is great.
I love it.
It's
been there.
Awesome.
I've been there for going on 6 years. And
do you have a house or an apartment?
We have a townhouse.
A townhouse.
It's like a little adorable. John's been there many times.
Do you feel like you get like trapped in that area though? Because that's my fear of like moving somewhere out there, like with Santa Monica.
It's just like NoHo. You're trapped in your area because Los Angeles is such a territorial place.
Yeah.
Totally.
You don't leave your little neck of the woods.
No.
Yeah.
And I prefer my neck of the woods than your neck of the woods.
Well, but they're both awesome. And I was in Culver City yesterday. I met with this guy that wants to do a photo thing about comedy bartenders, blah, blah, blah. And of course, I got lost finding the fucking Coffee Bean on Overland and Washington.
The one on Venice and
that's the one I went to.
Hughes.
That's the one I went to. And I got in the park. It took like 45 minutes to get into the parking lot. And I decided I was going to drive my 1991 Roadmaster that day, which took me.
Nice.
That's a whole other story on the Bob
Did
Bean
you
show.
see the birds everywhere?
Yeah.
Yay. But there's Sony Studios is there, and of course what was Desilu is there, and I love pointing out that where they're building the stairs.
Yeah, behind the Culver steps.
Culver steps. I love because Dennis and I, when we go to the movies, I always park in that thing so we can like take a little stroll.
Yeah.
But I crack up looking at all the fun people in the architect's rendering.
No joke. My fiance and I just were looking at that, and we were looking at, and we were just like sitting there for like 15 minutes, just making fun of the people in that rendering.
I mean, I love to go there.
Who are they?
I don't know what we're talking about.
They're building. This is a huge deal to find that much parcel of land, and they're digging way down deep, and it's going to be called the Culver Stairs, and it's what we need more in Los Angeles. Creative shopping and office space.
Right.
Amazon already like bought all the offices.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh wow.
But there's on every piece of the wall that where it says post no bills. There's these, and they're actually very well done.
Oh yeah.
Murals. But there's like the guy riding his bike and the couple strolling with a baby, and they're all over the place. And I'm like,
and it's very diverse because they consciously were like, we need at least 3 more black guys in this.
Yes, exactly. But that's so rough that you pulled that up.
Yeah.
And that reminds me of one thing, because we got to wrap it up, because here on the Bob Bean Show,
Yay.
time friggin' flies. And this has nothing to do with any of this except diversity. Has anybody else besides me, and I'm not a fucking racist, okay?
God.
I'm white. I'm Christian. I smoke cigarettes inside my home. I eat red meat. I don't speak Spanish. I'm gay. I don't have a fake service dog, a fake handicap placard, or a fake marijuana card. And I'm the minority in L.A. My point being is that's a good line, you guys.
That was the real deal. That was great.
impressive.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the point being, though, is have you all noticed how in TV commercials now, it's always an interracial couple?
Yeah,
You
it
notice
is.
that?
It
And I
is.
mean, hooray,
Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah.
But
It is.
it's kind of like, for what it's worth to me, it's like, this is wonderful that people are seeing that this is real life and la la la, but it's kind of overkill. Everybody.
But also, do you wonder if it's an interracial couple out here, and then if you go to Middle America, it's not an interracial couple?
I bet you they don't have the same commercials
I
there.
bet they don't.
You're so right.
Yeah.
You're so
Because
right.
everybody where you guys is from, no offense, but
I'm
like
not.
75%, 70%, or like me, they're a little overweight.
Yeah.
You know?
Correct.
But
I
it's
thought you were
beautiful
going to say racist.
No, well, I don't even want to get off on that thing because you know what? I'm
They're
white.
not. They just hate Asians.
I'm a white.
Because you know everyone where you're from is racist.
Right, that's what I thought he was saying, and I was like, well, kind of, yeah. I mean, a little bit.
Well, I know that the people that work in the restaurant where I work call me a racist because I say, "Could you please speak English when we're working together?" I guess that's it. It's true. We got to wrap this up. I want to thank you guys so much.
Awesome.
Ben, John, and of course Sylvia.
Thank you.
Great to meet you.
Anything anybody want to add? Anything you're doing, projects or anything like that before we wrap up?
I don't think anything too exciting.
All right, cool. Well, then we're done. Please. Now I'm going to have you and Kevin West come on because you guys, it's going to be a great time.
I love it, yeah.
He's been on before. He's friggin' awesome. That's it. I will be at the Laugh. This will air Friday night.
Okay.
So I will be at the Laugh Factory on Sunday. Monday the 18th. 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock showtime, and then I will be at Flappers in Burbank on July 15th.
Beautiful.
And please, 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 you guys ask all your friends to subscribe. It's important because it makes it's a great show. I'm really proud of it. Samee and Joe and Dennis and Zach and everybody that's involved. We're really climbing, and we're almost peaking at what 8,000 subscribers
All right.
in our first year and a
I
half.
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to start, anyway, so please subscribe to The Bob Dean Show on iTunes. Yay.
Yay.
On iTunes, you can subscribe. You can also listen on your Android phone like I have to the Stitcher, STITCHER app. And now, thanks to Joe, this will be our 5th videoed
Recorded episode.
YouTube recorded episode.
Awesome.
And see, and the camera does add 10 pounds, at least to me. I love you guys. I'm so happy to see you. Thank you very
It's a
much.
pleasure. Thank you.
Great to meet you.
See
Yeah.
Now, we're going to be friends because we work on the next.
Oh, yeah.
And that's another thing in this town. I love you. The 6 degrees of separation is friggin' creepy.
It's true.
It is.
Because there's
Totally
like, what,
is.
14 million people it's crammed into this, but each time there's
She
somebody
grew
we
up
know.
right by Dame.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
crazy.
and anyway, that's it for the Bob Dean Show. Yay.
Ba-ding.